This train station was underneath thousands of tons of rubber and debris. It was luckily fixed just 2 years ago. However, I think this never quite lost the mark of destruction. Today, let's explore the memorial of September 11th. Let's go. I'm Ariel with Urbanist, and let me know if you have any questions. Let's actually go this way. So along here we have a carving that reads the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights on each side. And this is the station that now connects to the Oculus World Trade Center transportation hub. Luckily, in the past 19 years, New York City has rebuilt from the ashes of the terrible attacks that happened on September 11th, 2001. Let's go upstairs and explore the memorial. If you have anyone who's mentioned in the memorial, please feel free to let us know in the comments. We'll do our best to find their names. And luckily today I'm joined by a friend of mine, Mary Jane Hosso, is a fellow YouTuber, and we're gonna chat a little bit about our experiences of what we went through that day. Let's go. Hello, Shadow. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Tracy. Think of those who lost September 11th. Hello, Christine. Hello, Dwayne. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know, where were you on September 11th, 2001? So, my camera woman slash friend who's hanging out with me today is Mary Jane. Mary Jane, what YouTube channel do you run?
What a shame, Mary Jane. Hello, everyone.
And let us know if you have any questions about New York City or about the memorial specifically. We'll do our best to answer them. Let's continue walking around. So Mary Jane, have you been to the memorial before?
Yes, I visited the memorial, never the museum, but I visited this place very first time that I came to New York City.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. But obviously never during an anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
Exactly, and let's go this way. It seems like this is the entrance. Oh, right over here. Hello, Jose. Hello, Wakio from Mexico. Bienvenidos. Hello, Nikita. Hello, Jorgen from Germany. Welcome. Hello, Marie. Hello, Elisa from Genova, Italy. Welcome. Today I'm being joined by a fellow Italian. We're going to get a European perspective of what happened, what transpired these days. All right, let's see if we can get through. Yes. I think we might have to wait in line, but it's going fast. Mary Jane.
Entrance only, exit on the south side. Everybody welcome.
Okay, so we are inside. They are allowing groups of people in. Seems like they have a specific maximum number. And we're approaching one of the two original footprints of the original Twin Towers. Here we're towards the northern tower. And along the footprints we have the names of the people who passed away during these attacks. Michael says, never forget. Indeed, Michael. Tara says, thank you for this. I was there in New York City working during this time. Awful. God bless all that perish indeed. Adam, is walking to WTC the same as walking through a cemetery? I would say it's a different feeling. Not quite like a cemetery. Mary Jane, what do you think?
It's definitely a different feeling. I would say this is still a lively place. It's a place of memory and respect,
Yeah.
but it's still in the middle of a very lively city. So it's definitely not like a cemetery for me. It doesn't give the same feeling.
Doesn't give the same feeling. There's a certain kind of feeling of aliveness. That's the best way I could put it. That despite the tragedy that transpired here 19 years ago, there's still, the city has risen from the ashes, as I said from the beginning. Let's take a closer look. So here we have a few names. Kenneth Allen Simon, Francisco Alberto Liriano, just heartbreaking, says Jane. Indeed. Do you know anyone who worked at WTC? So before we actually continue walking around, I want to get your experience seeing the tragedy from abroad, from Italy, because you were in Italy during the time, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I must say you have to keep in mind that I was only 11 when this happened, so I was still a kid basically. So I didn't even know what the Twin Towers were. I knew what New York was, and it was kind of the center of the Western world, but I didn't really know what it meant. But what I remember is already my sister. I remember when I experienced the news for the first time. I came home from my training. It was afternoon, and my sister was alone at home. My sister was 16 at the time, so she could understand better what was happening. And I remember she was at home in front of the television, and she was in complete shock. And she told me, look what happened, and I couldn't understand, but already I could see that she was completely shocked is the right word. And then in the next days I kept seeing that all adults were shocked as well. So it was really a big deal for us in Italy as well, I guess.
It is probably hard to believe, I assume, like watching it from
Yes,
abroad.
yes.
It seemed like it couldn't happen.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. But I must say also Europe, of course, because of our political very strong link with the United States, were very shocked about the attacks for a few days.
Well, I see. Let me see. Lorraine, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And let me know if you have any names. We'll do our best to find those names. We have a few of them. If you know anyone personally who was affected, let us know their names. We'll do our best to find them. And, all right. So, hold this. So, I'll tell you a little bit more of my experience as we walk around. Yeah, so unfortunately, I was similar age to Mary Jane, 13 years old. I was at school in Blessed Sacrament in Jackson Heights, Queens. And I remember all the teachers just kind of told us to, they didn't say what was happening, but they said something serious happened, that we all have to convene at the cafeteria. And most of us were very puzzled as to what they were talking about. And we couldn't see views of the city skyline. And once they got us into the cafeteria, they told us that the Twin Towers were attacked. And like Mary Jane said, it was something that was really hard to believe. I couldn't even fathom some type of attack to a major building. Of course, I've seen many war movies when I was younger, but to me, it just didn't seem like something that would actually happen outside of a Hollywood film. And I remember they let all of us out. I had no one who worked at the Twin Towers, luckily. I know many people probably have gone through personal tragedies. However, when my dad picked me up from school, I remember we were driving down Northern Boulevard in Queens, and if you've driven down Northern Boulevard in Queens or taken a bike ride, you see the views of the city skyline. I remember just seeing a huge, massive plume of smoke above the city. It seemed very gloomy and very surreal. And that's an image that I will never forget. So coming back here, it is a bit surreal because in a way, it seems rather kind of senseless that this all happened. That's my take on it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what experiences you went through. Continue walking around. Mary says, heartbreaking. Thank you for the tribute. Jose, God bless them all. Indeed. Heartbreaking never gets easier. Okay, so Mary Jane, we're gonna search for some few names. So take out your phone, and we're gonna see if we can spot where these names are. So Mary Jane is going to help us search for the names on her phone, and I'll let you know. Bear with us.
Is there a website?
There, I think there is a website, yeah, where they so search World Trade Center Memorial names. Yeah, let's go there, yeah. Okay, scroll down. Okay.
Wow.
And we gotta find the position.
They're in alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order.
Are you looking for a name specifically?
Yeah. So let's find first. Let's go up. Diana, thank you so much for the stars. Hablo también español. Puede preguntarme cualquier cosa en español y puede preguntar. Say that you can answer anything in Italian.
Se volete fare domande in italiano potete farle, io risponderò in italiano e poi traduciamo in inglese.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so let's search for Philip Rosenzweig.
Rosenzweig.
Awesome, you know your German.
Auf Deutsch auch.
So you can do find.
Here?
No, so you click here and then go here.
Here.
And then find on page.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we're gonna search for them. And, embrace the views as we're searching for them. Oh, Jane, if
North N2, which is north, should be this side. It's Philip Rosenzweig.
okay, yes, North N2. Okay,
I guess west is where the sun is low.
Yeah.
This should be the north side, right?
this is north. Yeah, this is the north tower, and then that's the south tower over there.
Oh.
So N and S.
Okay.
So 2.
2.
We gotta find maybe a map. We are right now at the North Tower. Let me know if that's number 1 or number 2 in the comments. That's a bit tricky. So let's go to a new page and search the map. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Maybe the panels are numbered.
Yeah. So the panels actually have a heating system as well and a cooling system, so they won't get either too hot or too cold during the All right, take your time to get acquainted with the map, and then I'll just continue showing. Take your time, don't worry, no hurry. Dwayne, when I see paramedics, I thank them for what they did. Francis, hello. Cuando Dios hizo el Eden, pensó en América. Oh, qué bien, Ángel. When he says, when God made Eden, he thinks of America. Maggie says, don't need to search, just you respecting, just be. Yeah, I still would love to show a few names if I could. So we're gonna do our best. Was the new World Trade Center built outside the impact zone? This was the impact zone, so all of this was ground zero. It's not the direct impact, but it's right beside the North Tower, right over here, One World Trade Center, 1776 feet. Joseph Amatuccio, okay. I remember I had a TV on, so I'm gonna keep that name up. Can you do a video going up the Freedom Tower? I have a few of them. I have a few of them, John. Our emergency responders do so much and braveless work, says Dwayne. They do, they really do. So this is the infinity pool. Remind me of the architect's name again, the designer's name. Did they explain which is the order of the numbers?
Yeah, so that thing that you asked me is right around the corner here.
Okay, let's look it up. Awesome. Everyone give big hearts for Mary Jane for figuring out the system of the map. Michael Arad, thank you so much, Dutch Moss. Michael Arad is the architect. Please find Alejandro Chang. Okay, so Alejandro Chang. First, let's do this one. Here it is. Philip Martin Rosenweig. So we have Joseph Amatuccio.
S24 is in the other pool.
Okay, all right, so we'll keep that in mind. And then
Chang?
Alejandro Chang.
How do you write it? Shank like this?
Chang, yeah.
No much it says.
So search Alejandro. Caitlin, thank you so much. So here's Philip. And he has a flower, so maybe a family member came over here. Let me know, whoever said Philip Rosenwhite. No, we can't locate Alejandro, unfortunately. He doesn't appear to be in the names. Only Alejandro Castaño. And Judith
And Cordero.
and Cordero, yeah. Those are the only two. Yes, Jane says a family member did come and left the flower. That's very nice of them. God bless this awful day, says, indeed. Judith, hey, you still work in the World Trade Center. This is a very emotional day. It is, it is. A lot of people here are paying their tributes. A crowd almost as big as last year. I'm actually really surprised by the output. Prayers for everyone, indeed. The memorial's name is reflecting absence. Thank you so much, Dos Shmaz. I really appreciate you reminding us of the names. Diana says, thank you for the video. My pleasure, Diana. Gerald Duffy. Aileen says, thank you, Mary Jane.
Also South Pole.
South Pole. Okay, so we got two South Poles. Let's take our sweet time here. Is that where the Twin Towers were? Yes, more adventure. This is where the Twin Towers were. My nephew just became a Tennessee firefighter. Oh, congratulations to your nephew.
Congratulations.
We have a few of your fans watching as well.
Yay.
Yeah. Vicky, thank you so much for the stars. I appreciate it. Are there lights for night visits? Yes, the two beaming lights are popping up. Have you seen them?
No,
The
never
lights?
been here in the evening.
Really weird to see such an open space where once something stood so large. Indeed, especially how tall the Twin Towers built in 1973 were the tallest buildings for quite a while until it was, I think, the Willis Tower that beat it in Chicago, at that time known as the Sears Tower. Is WTC finished? So One World Trade Center is finished. However, there's still a few more in construction. I think this might be number 2, maybe. And there's, I think, 2 more being built. Yeah.
What are they doing there in this structure here? Do you have an idea?
I think this might be the Performing Arts Center. Either World Trade Center 2 or the Performing Arts Center. One of those two. Yeah. The water sounds so relaxing. Jeff, can I rewatch this after work? Yes, all my videos are available for replay. And it looks like a beautiful day in New York City. It really is, Alex. I think everyone can remember where they were on that awful day. Yes, let me know. Let us know in the comments, where were you during that day, if you care to share. Or if you would like us to find any names. We have 2 names that we're going to find in the South Tower. Tara, thank you so much for the stars. Thoughts and prayers from Scotland. Thank you, Gordon. On behalf of New York, God, thank you. So Dutch Moz let us know that that is the Performing Arts Center, the one that you pointed out. Yeah. Ben Fisher. Ben Fisher. Sending love from Australia. I'm sorry.
With Ben Fisher, I didn't find anything.
Might be Benjamin.
the Fisher.
So we don't see a Ben Fisher. We only see Andrew, Gerald, Thomas, John, and that's it, unfortunately. Let us know the full name. If you're letting us know a name, please let us know their full name. It seems like they don't write nicknames. Kevin M. O'Rourke. Kevin O'Rourke. So O'Rourke. Actually, write just the last name in that case.
How is it spelled?
Just write the, and then there's gonna be an apostrophe. There we go.
South also.
Okay, so we have another south one.
Do you remember the name of the first one that's in the south?
Yeah, Joseph Amatuccio. Will you also point out the survivor tree? Yes, of course we will. I think it's down this way. I'll point it out. We're just taking our very slow, sweet time over here, so of course feel free to ask any questions or not. Just enjoy the views or stay in remembrance. Tanya, thank you so much for the stars. Crystal says, I was at home on the West Coast watching it unfold in the early hours of the morning. And the rest of the day was a blur at the office. We were glued to the news. I can imagine, I think all around the world people were glued to the news. What is the construction on the other side? It's the Performing Arts Center, Don. Ashley is watching from Kentucky, prayers. I was getting my children ready for school and my dad told me to turn on the TV. We were in Seattle. Didn't know quite what to do, says Pat. My daughter's first grade teacher lost a friend in one of the towers. Oh, sorry for your loss or for your friend's loss. She kept her cell phone all day waiting for a phone call that never came. Yeah, and it's a very heartbreaking. You can find online the very last call from a person on the plane that crashed through the Twin Towers. It's a person calling their boyfriend. Sorry, Bennett Fisher. So which we saw. So Bennett Fisher.
It's also south.
Okay, and then we're gonna search one more before we go south. Is Pfeiffer. That's his last name. Let us know his first name, Darren. Pfeiffer.
F-I-S-E-R-V?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, P-H, yeah.
With one or two F?
Oh yeah, that's the one.
That's the one? It's
South.
also south.
Okay, so now let's go south. Everyone press that heart button and stars for Mary Jane coming out with me. We just filmed a video about Italian food. But I really appreciate Mary Jane coming out and searching for the names. We're gonna search for the 4 names that we got.
My pleasure.
Yeah, press that heart button for her. And let us know if you have any questions in English, Español, or Italiano.
Or German.
Or German as well. Yeah. Where's the survivor tree? Let's see. I've been here many times, but I always like, oh, this is the one. All right, let's show the survivor tree first.
I've never heard of the survivor tree.
Okay, you're about to be in for a surprise. Dawn says, love Mary Jane. Elisa says, ciao Mary Jane, ¿cómo stai?
Ciao, sto bene, grazie.
So here is the survivor tree. When the Twin Towers collapsed, of course, most things laid in ruin. There was only a few things that actually survived underneath the tons and tons of debris. One of them is this tree. Out of the various trees that were around this area, only this one laid still standing. And only had a few bruises on its branches. The city actually spent a lot of money and a lot of man hours in order to restore the tree, and it's still surviving to this day. This is a survivor tree. Something that survived underneath all the pounds of debris amongst the Twin Towers ground zero. It's kind of a miracle if you think about it. I'll show you.
They asked for some names.
Okay.
They have the position already, I think.
Marianne, North 13. Michael.
That's where we were.
We'll search that later. Michael and Edward Jurgens. Okay, so we got a lot. So let's go one by one. Actually, I'll mark this comment because. Thank you, Jason. We will try to find the name. We'll do our best. Carlos, thank you so much for the stars. Okay, so let's find the 4 names that we had.
Yes.
Yeah. As I show this. John, are we too a couple? No, we're just friends. Mary Jane and I. She's also a fellow YouTuber. We collaborate a lot in our videos. Robert, you never heard of the Survivor Tree 2? There's a beam that was discovered in the shape of the cross, yes. There's also, we'll go visit it later, a sculpture that was right in the middle. And this walkway, which I'll point out very soon as well. Wakio, yes, I'll show the sphere. I'll show the sphere.
We're going to Amatuchi now.
Amatuchi, okay. Let's find Amatuchi. So whoever mentioned Joseph Amatuchi, that's the first one we're going to go to. Lovely to know about the tree. Thank you. My pleasure, Christina. So many people here. Yes, a lot of people here. Actually, almost as many as last year. I did a video here as well. So here we found Joseph Amatuchi. Our regards go to you. I hope the person who mentioned them still is watching. I wish I had flowers with me, otherwise I would have placed something. I do place my good vibes. How many names? They should be around 2,400, 2,500 around there. Yeah. He deserves a flower. He does deserve a flower. I wish I had a flower for him. It's a bit tough. They don't sell flowers inside here. Yeah. Judith, another fellow fan of yours. Judith is watching.
That's Judith.
Yeah.
Hi Judith, nice to see you here.
And how long did it take to build this memorial center? I didn't research this tour beforehand, so I don't know the exact dates, but I think it took a few years. I think it took 2 or 3 years around there. Yeah.
Which might be a long time for New York City, but it's actually such a, like, I remember in Italy we were saying that you rebuilt this place so fast.
Yes, exactly.
Because after already a couple of years it was already, cleaned up and everything.
Clean up, and we built buildings taller than even the Twin Towers. Jorithio, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, R.I.P. everyone. Don't forget the people who died in the toxic dust. Yes. Yes, Jorithio, unfortunately, due to the thousands of tons of debris, it left a lot of toxic air, and a lot of people did suffer from increased amounts of lung cancer and other cancers. So our hearts go out to you as well for the people who were living in this area. So let's find our next person.
Christopher Duffy.
All right.
10 panels that way.
And then do we have Michael E. Brennan or Thomas Jurgen?
Thomas Jürgen is here.
Yeah.
Edward. It's Edward Jürgens.
Thomas Edward Jurgens, yeah. Oh, here he is. So Thomas Edward Jurgens, Jason, right here. He has 3 flags. It seems like anywhere from 4 to 3 left their regards to Thomas Edward Jurgen, and he seems to have been part of the New York State Department of Tax and Finance. Let us know if that's correct. That's what it says right here, right next to his name. Or it might be United States Secret Service. One of those two. And then we have, okay. Let us know.
Christopher Duffy.
For Duffy. Here's Christopher Michael Duffy. Our regards go to you. How do you say that in Italian when you say that you rest in peace or regards or wishes?
Condoglianze. That's
Nope.
when you say to the family,
Oh, to the family.
not to
Condoglianze.
the person who passed. Riposa in pace, is rest in peace.
Christopher Michael Duffy. And we have Gerard Duffy. Another Duffy. How many people died from Greece? I don't know. At least about that. Maybe bound to be a few because New York City does have a substantial Greek population.
Gerard Duffy is on that side.
That's like, oh,
Also 10.
10. Okay. Oh, right next
So
to
we're
Brendan.
gonna yeah.
And then we have a few others. Let's see if they're right next to us.
I still have Beth and Fisher.
Okay. We'll do that.
Kevin room.
Yeah.
Let's see. $17. No, it's from the other side.
Muhammad, thank you so much. Why did they build an infinity pole as a memorial to the people who passed away and to the structures themselves, which were an icon of New York for many decades? Do you guys remember what we were doing at 9/11? Yes, we mentioned that earlier in the broadcast, so you can go back after we're finished. You can watch the replay. So a lot of family members came over here. Oh, right here. Oh, okay. Bennett, Lawson, Fisher over here. Great stories of heroism, says Jake, especially the blue-collar workers starting early that morning and firefighters climbing. Indeed. Hey, Catherine, born New Yorker, woke up late in Brooklyn around 10 a.m. trying to get to the subway in Manhattan. You had your Walkman on, finally turn it on, and you hear descriptions of firemen covered in ash, etc., without knowing that it was the WTC. Strength and remembrance to all who grieve. Indeed, thank you so much for sharing your experience, Catherine. I'll put that. Oh, I can't show the full comment. "36 Greek Americans were killed in 9/11. I didn't realize. Wow, quite a lot. Do we have?
All on the other side.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll be able to get to all the names. I do appreciate people who are tuning in. I hope someone could pay their respects here in person, or maybe hopefully you can in the near future. John, no, I haven't seen that documentary though. I don't discuss politics on this show. I'm not entirely sure if the documentary is about politics, but if it is, I don't discuss politics on this show. If anyone wants me to point the camera in any direction, feel free to let me know. So right here is the 9/11 Memorial Museum, which I'm not entirely sure if it's open right now. Adam, thank you so much for the recommendation of if you want something quick to grab and go, Amazon Go is nearby. That's good to know. Thank you. Any stories of the area being haunted? No, I have not heard any stories. Have you heard any stories from friends?
Never.
Okay. No, never heard any stories. I think the disaster has happened too soon, and also it was so real because there was so much news coverage around it that it's not quite the thing that people would spread haunted history about. So Kevin M. O'Rourke is going to be also in this side, right?
Yeah, I think it's panel 10.
Okay. Mary Jane is approached. She already got the entire system down.
I think your two names are the first one.
Okay. Let's see.
We're panel 10. This is panel 1.
Okay.
Can I say something about this architecture? So I remember, I don't know if anyone who is listening has not visited this place yet, but just to describe you this place a little bit. The first time I came here to visit, I was so moved by this place. I think the architect, the designer did an amazing job because right when you are approaching it, when you're approaching the pools, you start hearing this water noise. And then slowly when you get closer, you start seeing that it's not full, that there is a hole. And then you get closer and closer, and this hole goes down and down, and it goes deeper and deeper. And then you arrive here, and you are overwhelmed by the noise of the water, and in front of you, you just have a black, gigantic hole, which is something, to be honest, I almost teared up the very first time I visited here. I don't have any personal relationship with this event, but just the architecture is so well done, it's so well designed, that I really felt moved when I came here, and every time I come here as well. So I think this is an amazing piece of architecture, or however you will call it, because of this reason. It's just a gigantic black hole, which is the perfect metaphor for the event that it wants to remember. And also, you have two series of holes. You have the big one, and then when you get close to the edge, you can see the very central hole, which is smaller, and it's where all the water collects and falls down, and you cannot see the bottom of that hole. So you just can see these big quantities of water that go down along these walls of the small hole, and it feels like it's going to the void. I don't know. I think it's such a emotionally powerful architecture. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much I really appreciate you sharing that. A lot of people agree with you. Yeah, you're right. It has a very moving display because it's not a lot of classical monuments tend to have huge statues, or like the ones that were built in the middle of 1900s are like huge slabs of walls that ominously kind of are amongst a park landscape. But here you do have kind of that sense of water always running. Yeah, I think that's why I mentioned earlier there is this sense of aliveness. Yeah. Sarah, I just want to understand, is this where they built the actual towers? Yes, this is the South Tower. This is the actual footprint of the South Tower. It goes as deep as the original slurry wall was built. The slurry wall was amongst the biggest ones ever built at that time in history, 1973. And they lead all the way down to the bedrock for one of the towers. And the other tower actually didn't go to the bedrock, so they had to build it even deeper because it was built on, almost on landfill. Half of it was built on landfill. Andre, we will get to the sphere statue. Don't worry, everyone. We're really taking our time. This is gonna be a nice, calm walk through. So don't worry, we'll get to the sphere soon. Eileen, it's peaceful. Yes, it is. 9/11 left many holes. In a way, yes, left many holes and hearts and lives. Please go to the children's section with toys. Wonder where that is.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know much better than me.
Can you show? Okay, so let's do this. Let's show the museum first, and then we'll go to the other sections. Thank you for sharing this with us. My pleasure, Bella. Oh, wow. Thank you, sir. My pleasure, Sarah. Let me know where the children's section is. I don't know off the top of my head. Don't worry, everyone. Don't respond to hateful or lewd comments. Just let them be. Here's the museum. Go to Brookfield Place. That's the place we can't go via live video. It's a private mall. Here. And we can't really see much of the museum, but I think we can see the beams. Yeah. These are the beams. You see them right here?
Yes.
Yeah. It's hard to show. Let's see if we can. All right, this is gonna be. Yeah. There we go. That's a lot better, thank you. Yeah, it's a bit hard to show. It's a bit, but I think people get the idea, yeah. I'm glad you're doing this walk, Ariel and Mary Jane. Thank you, says Judith. Marie-Ange says, yes, thank you for sharing. Is there a firefighter memorial at WTC? So there is, the sections are divided by the different firefighter battalions, I think that's what they're called, which we passed one of them. So here is the beams, and we can see this one was north beam. It says right there. Zolt? Yes, this is Manhattan. Yes, it is. And the entrance to the museum is here, but I think it's closed. If anyone could let me know in the comments. I'm not 100% sure about the status of the museum. Condolences to the family that lost their lives. Bernal says, blessing and remembrances to those who were lost at the site. Insert orange hearts, since YouTube doesn't have an orange heart. Yeah. Your camera's very steady. Yes, I'm using a gimbal, DJI Osmo Mobile. Today, the museum is open for the first time since March. You're a very good man. Oh, my pleasure, Sarah. So I'm not entirely sure if I can go to the museum because there probably won't be service there. But you know what? I'll do my best to do maybe a recorded video inside there. So stay tuned potentially for that, because I doubt there'll be service down there. Okay. You enter there. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the sphere. And I'll show you a walkway that survived the Twin Towers as well. And yeah, you do need tickets to get in, Adam. And museum is not open to the public till tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, Kay, for letting us know. Hudson River Park. Yeah, we'll end there. Yeah, we'll go to Hudson River Park. It's a nice spot. So, Mary Jane, from your perspective covering New York City, when people visit the memorial, what do you recommend them to do afterwards? Maybe for some food or entertainment, or whatnot. Do you have any recommendations of this area? Or the waterfront, you said you really enjoy biking through them?
Yes, yeah. Absolutely. Well, so I don't really hang out that much in this area because I live in the East Village, but when I come to this side of the city, I come with the bicycle and then I bike along the Hudson River Greenway, which is a bike path, an amazing bike path. It's like a highway for bicycles only.
Yeah.
Full of trees, full of green, and on one side you have the Hudson River. On the other side, you have all the skyline and the buildings of this side of Manhattan. You ride along the whole World Trade Center, Hudson Yards. It's very beautiful. So I definitely recommend the Hudson River Greenway, especially by bicycle. If you have one, or if you rent one, if you come to New York City from outside.
Which people could do via using the city bike system.
Yes, you can do. City bikes are very efficient. There are docking stations everywhere, and if you are just a visitor, you can just rent them for one day. Okay. So it's very convenient.
And you said you were going to show us something here?
I think panel 10, we had a couple of names.
Okay, so let's see panel 10 and then we'll continue.
And then I think 14, I had another couple.
Okay.
You had the ones from panel 10.
Oh, that's already too far up. If you can remind us of the names that were around engine 40, let me know in the comments. Mariange, Mary Jane is from northern Italy. So we found Kevin J. Pfeiffer, has a little pin. It reads, seems like it's a FDNY pin. And he might have been part of, I'm gonna just slightly move this, Ladder 11. Or engine 23, let me know which. I'm not, it's a bit, confusing the markings, but let me know which part he was.
Then panel 17, which is, we have Penny or Ruth.
Okay, Kevin O'Rourke, we're gonna find Kevin O'Rourke now. A lot of people are here. There we go. We found Kevin O'Rourke. And this might be a part of his tribute. Kevin O'Rourke was Ladder 3, a first responder. Gerald Duffy was engine 21, which it might be right here. So a lot of the names over here are of the first responders, FDNY. Let's see Gerald Duffy, because I think he's right here. Gerard Duffy. When will the spiral tower be when it's completed?
At 10.
10, which is down there? Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. Might be 2022, 2023. Someone asked, where are we located? We're located in Lower Manhattan, right by the financial district. This is right adjacent also to the Battery Park City. Thank you so much. Go Ribimael Ma Agat. Ooh. Evelyn, my pleasure. 343. Okay. Here is William, Gerald Duffy, engine 21, ladder 34. New York Fire Department. Thank you so much for your service, Gerald Duffy. May you rest in peace. All right, let's go to the sphere. Where's the Greek church? We will show you. It's right down here, right there, right behind the trees. And there's a lot of places to sit. There's the trees, also a remembrance of the people who lost their lives. And there's a few memorials here. Let's actually take a peek here. Is Norman Foster Partners the Brit? Yes, I think Norman Foster is British. And he does appear to be the one who's building World Trade Center 2. God bless our heroes. I agree, Kathy. God bless our heroes. While you were in Italy, were there any thing on the news, the Italian news, about any Italians who might have been?
For sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't remember exactly now.
So flowers are being left here. I'm not entirely sure what might be the reason. If anyone knows, let us know. This might be something commemorating something. William says, so moving. Thanks, blessings for all. Our pleasure.
This is the Memorial Glade. It's a memorial for the first responders who were picked up in the creek and
We are relatives of Kevin. Good pronunciation of the Gaelic. And again, thank you so much for the tour, says Evelyn. Last time we were there, the pools were not finished, but we intend on seeing them soon. My pleasure, Evelyn. I'm so glad I could show you Kevin O'Rourke's name.
Did you discover what these are?
No, what are they?
So these rocks that you can see here, they are the memorial for all the first responders who came to clean up in the first days after the attacks, who breathed all the debris and later died of cancer or health complications for the job that they did. And the steel that you can see here is steel from the Twin Towers themselves.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Very moving and very subtle memorial. I like how a lot of the memorials, as you mentioned, are very subtle.
Yes.
As well, yeah. So they're not ostentatious as were back in history.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So follow me. We're gonna go towards the sphere. This is a part of the park that's a little bit hard to spot, especially if you're a tourist. It's not so obvious how to get to this section. So I'll explain how to get here. We gotta go towards the exit. And there's two entrances to this terrace elevated park. Now, before we actually go up here, I'll point out this walkway. World Trade Center was a very innovative collection of skyscrapers and buildings. Think of like Rockefeller Center or modern day Hudson Yards. There's many modern city centers in many cities around the world. But I think World Trade Center really went the extra mile when it came back in the 1970s, especially right at the highest stagnation in America. And these walkways connected the World Trade Center complex to Battery Park City. This was one of the walkways. The other walkway was completely destroyed, but this one stayed standing. It's still the same one, albeit completely remodeled, but the exterior is still the same. So you can walk through history here, and this leads to the now current Brookfield Place Mall as well. So let's go over here towards the Sphere. And let me know if there's any questions. So actually, let me read this. This memorial glade is dedicated to those whose actions in our time of need led to their injury, sickness, and death. Responders and recovery workers, survivors and community members suffering long after September 11, 2001 from exposure to hazardous and toxins that hung heavy in the air, here and beyond the site known as Ground Zero and at the Pentagon, and near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, in the aftermath of the terrorist attacks. Here we honor the tens of thousands from across America and around the world who came to help and heal, whose selflessness and resolve, perseverance and courage renewed the spirit of a grieving city, gave hope to the nation, and inspired the world. Very beautiful poem. If anyone knows who wrote this, let us know in the comments. Memorial Glade. Almost in the shape of the Twin Towers themselves.
So we have Elisa Rossetti asking for a name, Christine Hansen, that I wasn't able to find.
Oh, sorry, we were unable to find Christine Hansen.
Sorry, we can close this.
And Marion V. Manning? No remains. North 13. Oh, he's in North 13. And South 10. We already saw Brennan, right? South 10? And B9. Okay. And where's the Greek church? We'll see it soon. Forever humbling. I visited this place in February this year. Very moving, so sad. Please, can you find the name of the youngest victim, Christine Henson?
That's the one I wasn't able to find. It's spelled wrong?
Yeah. Let us know if there's an alternate spelling. Unfortunately, I think it'll be hard to find everyone's name, but I'm sure there are resources where they are showing photographs of other names. But I hope the people who we were able to show the names got something out of it. Our condolences go to everyone, so I appreciate many people tuning in, and of course Mary Jane for finding the names. Let's go to Liberty Park. So they have hand sanitizers, which is nice. So here we have the map of where we were walking. Right now we are towards the South Pole. We see the North Pole over here, and that's the entire complex with all the trees that commemorate the victims, I think, of the original 1993 attack. If anyone knows for sure, let us know in the comments. Liberty Park, which we're about to go now. And we see 4 World Trade Center, 3 World Trade Center, the Oculus, 2 World Trade Center, which is still currently being built, 7 World Trade Center, which was one of the ones that originally collapsed as well. And here we have 1 World Trade Center right next to us. So that's the makeout of the place. Now, one thing, we are unfortunately the opposite way, but St. Paul's Chapel is also known as the little chapel that stood. Despite it being just very close to the north and south tower, that chapel was completely unscathed, except for maybe a few windows that were broken. It was used as a shelter for people escaping the rush of debris and ash that covered this area of the city during that time. What were your experience on 9/11? We'll say it one more time quickly. I was in school, and I remember seeing the plume of smoke lingering above the New York City skyline. It seemed very surreal and very gloomy. And Mary Jane, just a very brief.
Yeah, I remember coming home. It was afternoon in Italy at that point, and my sister, who was 16, who is a very cold-blooded person, by the way, she was completely in shock in front of the television. I wasn't able to understand what was happening because I was too little. But yeah, in literally every channel on the Italian television, you could change channel, and they would all show the images of the Twin Towers in flames.
And God bless America, indeed, Andrew, indeed. It's such a beautiful place. It really is. The 1993 bombing victims were mentioned on the North Tower. Thank you, Ali and Dutch Moz. Thank you for taking us there. First time for me, says Diana. Thank you for your gorgeous tribute. Elisa, thanks anyway. Our little angel rests in heaven. Oh, Elisa, my condolences to the little angel. And visited here from Australia, says Sharon, in 2014. And Carlos, thank you so much for the stars. Okay, let's make our way out. The chapel that was used for 9 months as a center for coordination of the works. Elisa, the volunteers slept and prayed on the bench. Well, thank you, Elisa, for letting us know. And I saw in CNN, and it broke the news, Jason says. It's chilling to see the second plane hitting the towers. Yeah, well, the thing is, when the first plane hit, a lot of people didn't know whether it was a terrorist attack, because in 1945, a plane also hit the Empire State Building. But that was nowhere near a terrorist attack. That was just an accident from a Air Force pilot. And a lot of people thought the same thing happened again. At first, in 1945, people were afraid that it might have been an attack from the Japanese or whatnot. So when that second plane hit, it kind of confirmed everyone's beliefs that, yes, this was a serious attack. Did Italy fight in Afghanistan? I won't get into politics, but I think they did, right? Yeah,
Yes,
briefly.
definitely.
Yeah. So here is the Greek church, also designed by Santiago Calatrava, who built the World Trade Center Transportation Hub, also known as the Oculus. And let me show this over here. So we have bagpipers over there. Is this your first time coming during 9/11, you said, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Darren, thank you. Ladder 10, bronze plaque. In honor of the 343 first responders of the FDNY who lost their lives. Two men are standing guard. This memorial is in the classic design of a memorial monument. I don't have battery, okay. Mary Jane, is there anything that compares in Italy? Is there a memorial, something that to Italians is similar or equally impactful?
I don't really know deeply what this memorial means to Americans, but we have plenty of memorials for the partisans, I guess it's called in English. So all the civil soldiers who fought in the resistance against the Nazis occupying Italy in the Second World War, and all those people who were really people from the popolo.
And where's that currently located?
Oh, in the whole Italy.
It's all around Italy.
Some areas were more active than others. I come from Friuli Venezia Giulia, which was one of the regions that were more active in the resistance, because we are right at the border with the ex-Yugoslavia.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah.
I see.
And we don't really have one memorial that has the same meaning that this one has for Americans, I guess. But we have thousands of memorials in every little town. We have a memorial for the partisans who liberated the Italian country from the occupation of the Nazis.
Indeed, yeah. So I think every country has something where it's equally impactful. As that's for Italy. Let us know your country. Is there a place of remembrance in your particular city? Might be related to 9/11 or not. I know many American cities have things pertaining to 9/11, so let us know in the comments. So let's show over here. So in order to get to Liberty Park, you get to Greenwich Street and Liberty Street. Greenwich and Liberty. if you go to the memorial during the day, go back tonight as well. It has a different feeling. It does, especially when the lights go on tonight, which they're gonna do. Yeah.
I've never tried that.
And we're gonna be able to see the lights from like all along the waterfront. Hi, Roseanne. Elisa says, Marie, siamo vicine.
Siamo vicine, we are close, like it's
Close.
we feel you.
We feel you.
Siamo in Slovenia. They are in Slovenia.
Oh, cool. Duai says,
¿Quién diría que Israel? This is Spanish, I think.
oh, Spanish, okay. ¿Quién diría que Israel? Oh, no. Duai, no hablo de política. I don't talk politics. Yeah, know what? Don't feel bad about having a good time at the memorial. I mean, you do you. You experience the memorial how you want to experience. Everyone has a different way of reacting, as long as you're not being a nuisance to others. Allison, thank you so much for doing this poignant walk around 9/11 memorials. My pleasure. It's the least I can do. In New Jersey, there are some pieces of the World Trade Center scattered around the state. Yes, there is. Same thing on Long Island. I've shown like 2 of them. One in Valley Stream. Italy recently had a terrible collapse of the bridge in Genoa. Oh, so sad.
Yeah. That's different though.
Where is this? Oh, sorry.
Politics wasn't directly involved. It was an accident, obviously indirectly involved with politics.
Yeah. So here is the still unfinished St. Nicholas National Shrine, designed by Santiago Calatrava. Rafael, thank you so much for this live. My pleasure. Oh yeah, we can see it from this vantage point. All right. I'm still shocked that this is not completed. If anyone knows why this is taking quite a while, let us know in the comments. I think they ran out of money.
That's how much?
It's coming in 2021 at least.
I had never been to this area. It's very nice here.
So-
Very peaceful.
Very peaceful, yeah. A lot of people actually don't know about it because it's hard to spot.
Yeah.
And also you don't casually walk, usually people don't casually walk around these particular streets. It's kind of on the backside of,
So this is the
Broadway.
How did you call it? The gardens?
it's called Liberty Plaza?
Liberty Park.
Liberty Park. And this sphere right here stood right in the plaza of the 2 towers. And somehow, miraculously, similar to the survivor tree, it survived with some bumps and bruises. David, didn't they send beams or pieces to hometowns that people died in 9/11? Yes, they did. I covered one in Valley Stream, New York. There's also another one right by Nikola Tesla's museum in right close to Port Jefferson.
Lots of bruises.
Lots of bruises, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a miracle that it
I
was.
don't think they were intended in the original sculpture.
No, it was a pretty smooth sphere when it was there. And I remember coming here as a little kid. I visited the Twin Tower when I was around 8 years old, 9 years old. I was so blown away by the views. Also blown away by the fact that they had a restaurant on the Twin Towers. It was called Windows of the World. So to me, I was like, what? You can eat above the clouds? And one thing that struck out to me was this sphere. I remember seeing it. To me, it looks so odd, from the perspective of an 8-year-old. It looks like a kind of a very otherworldly thing. And yes, it was at Battery Park for quite a while. And the other memory I have at that trip above the Twin Towers, which I think I have photos of, was World Trade Center 7. So to me, World Trade Center 7 was one of the buildings that collapsed shortly after the Twin Towers due to the massive weight of all the debris. And I remember looking at that building, I was so amazed because it looked like a fortress. And it was built like a fortress. It was a bunker for the mayor, and it luckily survived. I mean, it didn't survive, which shocked me when I heard that it collapsed. Prisoner of Faith, yes, my friend is Mary Jane. If you want to see other videos about New York City or biking in various boroughs of New York, check out Wallace J. Mary Jane. And here we have 2 helicopters moving in. And the lights will go on 9:11 p.m. Hello from Port-au-Prince. And the one that collapsed around 5 p.m. Yes. Thank you, John, for letting us know the time. So one more time, let me show you the views. Let us know if you have any last remaining questions. Let's go this way. There's a few firefighters here. We have another memorial here. I actually never noticed this one. Let's check it out. Susan, you say the governor's pitching to save money right now for the shrine, so it will be finished soon. No.
Oh, sorry.
Let me know what it says on the plaque. Yeah. I remember the day. It was beautiful as well. And we all just want to gaze at Ariel's beautiful eyes. Troy, I really do appreciate the compliment. The sphere survived the collapse of the towers, but was badly damaged. It was, yeah, as we saw. It was a bunker and part of the Fed. Oh, thank you, Ali. Yeah. It was built like a fortress. If you saw it in person, let me know if anyone else. What is it?
It's a memorial for the U.S. Army First Response Forces.
First Response Forces. So there we go.
It has a whole narration, which I didn't read.
Thank you for letting us know. All right, let's see over here. This statue has also a similar story to the charging bull. It just showed up one day. Oh, it's fascinating. Oh, interesting, fascinating. The sky was so blue that day, bluer than I ever seen. I remember September 11th, yeah, being a very, very sunny day. Will I be live streaming at 9:11 p.m.? Maybe. Stay tuned. Maybe. Put on your notifications. I'm not 100% sure yet, but put on your notifications. It's beautiful that you're doing this as city person, and to Mary Jane also. Thank you. Very moving presentation today. Our pleasure. Good night and kisses from Greece. One more time. The Freedom Tower, also known as One World Trade Center. It's an observation deck. Beautiful building, in my opinion. And the World Trade Center Memorial, open to the public every day. It might be a little bit different from the pandemic, but it's open to the public generally every day. And there's various activities happening today. So I think I'm definitely not the only one live streaming. There's probably a few news outlets showing more of the activities. So if you're watching from other countries, check out NBC, ABC, and CBS might be one of the 3 stations. Search NBC New York, CBS New York, and you'll see it. We can't really get a view of the fountain because the trees are blocking it. All right, and let me grab Mary Jane to say goodbye. Oh, okay, there. What's that Art Deco building called? Oh, I'm not entirely sure which one this Art Deco building is called. I remember visiting the World Trade Center Twin Towers, says William. Construction site, 1973. We were trying to see it from the street, but it was too cloudy. Oh, that must be very impressive. Are you in Manhattan? Yes, I am, Jake. We are in Manhattan. Mary Jane, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here. It
and-
was an honor to participate to this important live stream.
Indeed, yeah, and big hearts, everyone, for Mary Jane for finding the names. Sometimes things like this is hard to do on my own, so it's awesome to have a friend around.
It was a pleasure to help.
And you'll see Mary Jane do more live streams in the near future.
Yes.
Of certain things. So
I'm gonna go do a live stream tomorrow already.
So she was learning a little bit of behind the scenes, and you cover bike tours, New York City tips.
Yes, Italian cooking videos as well.
Italian cooking videos. So if you want to learn Italian cooking videos and bike around New York City, What a Shame, Mary Jane is your channel. And if you want to see more of my videos, Urbanist History of Cities, press that follow button, press that like button, and click notifications either on YouTube or on Facebook, and you'll see other things that might pop up soon. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope this broadcast brought you some peace of mind, or some remembrance, or some type of, I don't know, some good feelings somehow. I hope this done the service to some of you. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. I appreciate the respectful comments, and I respect all of you sharing your personal experiences. It means a lot when we all share together, almost like if we were all around a campfire back in olden times. Everyone, keep being awesome, and always keep on exploring, not just cities around the world, but also within our hearts. Have a great day, everyone. I do a goodbye. Goodbye. Bye, everyone.